Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Mars square or opposition Jupiter in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart, and they were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Mars square or opposite Jupiter in your natal chart, there may be difficulty in finding that drive and motivation, which is Mars, to expand horizons, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say if you have Jupiter in Taurus as an example, expanding horizons may be done in a very applauding, deliberate, and methodical manner. And the thing, too, is it may be doing something Taurus related in this example, such as geology, carpet laying, architecture, agriculture, gardening, cultivation. Could be doing something with banking, finance, something associated, let's say even archaeology, as some examples. And also, too, if you have a Mars square or opposite Jupiter in your natal chart, another thing, about this is that there may be distorted, which is Jupiter, levels of energy, which is Mars. Sometimes very high, sometimes very low. You could have a certain fluctuation and vacillation of your physical, energy and vitality with these aspects. Let's say, Mars is in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example. Maybe that energy may be doing things that are introverted, more for introverted activities. It could be doing things that are associated with the home, the family. It could be things that are Cancerian related, Cancerian fields such as cooking, culinary work, baking, say maybe even real estate, home renovation and remodeling as some examples. Now, another thing too is if you have Mars square or opposite Jupiter in your natal chart, another way it could pan out or manifest or pan out could be doing, it could be where, sexual partners, which is Mars, may often not be in agreement with your philosophies and beliefs, which, in sense of humor, which is Jupiter. Now, the thing is, if you have, Jupiter in Aquarius as an example, your sense of humor may be a little bit eclectic or unusual, even bizarre. Jupiter in Capricorn, the sense of humor may be more conventional. It could be connected with politics or government. As an example, Jupiter in Aries could be very abrupt, outspoken kind of humor, basically. And another thing, too, is that Mars square or opposite Jupiter in a natal chart may also manifest in at times having that trouble finding the energy, which is Mars, for Jupiterian related activities or endeavors, whether it could be higher education, sports, it could be publishing, advertising, doing things associated with the outdoors. Now, let's say if Jupiter is in Gemini, as an example, sports-related endeavors and activities, maybe ones that require a quick reaction. It could be like badminton, table tennis, racquetball, as some examples. Jupiter in Aquarius may be more of the unusual kind of sports, something like chess, boxing, or underwater hockey. I believe those do exist in that, as some examples. Now, another thing too is that if you have either these aspects in your natal chart, Mars square or opposite Jupiter, it may seem that luck and the fortune, which is Jupiter, may frequently not be there for you in dealing with physical related matters, Mars, which is Mars. Now, going back to Mars and the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, physical related issues may be tied in with the chest, the breast, the ribs, the stomach. Mars and Pisces may have physical related issues connected with the feet, the toes, the lymphatic or immune system, or the pineal gland. As some examples, I have Mars square Jupiter in my natal chart, and I have not had, really that much luck, so to speak, in physical related matters. They have been long enduring, and I have issues right now, I would say, that are irrevocable and that are never going to be reversed, unfortunately. But I know there's other, this by itself is not, I would say, doesn't, always mean, going to have like a long term. If you have anything physical related, it's going to be, overly sustained. And there's other, things in the chart, that I would say need to be looked at, to reaffirm or reinforce it. But these aspects certainly don't help those matters with physical related injuries. Now, another thing too is that there may be trouble in terms of finding that enthusiasm, which is Jupiter, in taking action, which is Mars, just in matters in general. Going back to Mars in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, it could be matters connected with the home, the family, whether it could be some kind of home renovation or remodeling, or something connected with real estate. Mars in Scorpio, maybe some kind of crisis situation or some matter pertaining to insurance or taxes, as some examples. It could be, or will, as another example. Now, the thing too is that in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter, may not be in agreement in terms of your actions and what you have that enthusiasm for, which is Mars. Now, the thing is, if Mars is in Gemini, as an example, those things you have the enthusiasm for, maybe manifold things, and maybe a variety of things, and maybe things tied in with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics, or assimilating and disseminating information, as some examples. And also, too, there may be difficulty with you in terms of, at times, finding, the courage, which is Mars, and standing up to, Jupiterian people, which covers, a number of different people. It could be people in the Jupiter profession, such as publishing or advertising. If something, say, was written about you that was slanderous, or you think was fabricated or not true, there may be some, delay or difficulty in terms of confronting the people about it, or whether it could be a legal situation that you need to embark on connected with it. Some things of that, nature, and it could be, and even in-laws and foreigners as well, as Jupiter is associated with those people. Now, also, too, another way Mars square or opposite Jupiter may manifest in a natal chart is that it may be hard to find that optimism, which is Jupiter, in matters that are associated with battles, which is Mars, whether they be verbal or physical related ones. Now, let's say if Mars is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may be some contentious situation over differences on philosophy or religion, or even just sports arguments. Is really, it's hard to have, in this day and age, to have constructive, disputes on virtually anything, it seems like. But another thing too, there also may be trouble in terms of doing things that are Jupiter related, with little hesitation or procrastination, which is Mars, because Mars is very hurried, impatient energy. Things that are Jupiter related can include, sports, publishing, advertising, expanding horizons, things connected with the outdoors. It may be doing something of a printing press operation, foreign travel, higher education. If Jupiter, say is in, say Jupiter is in Libra, as an example, higher education, interests or courses may, be connected with art or music, or, studying for arbitration, or something connected with human resources, anything, that could be Libra related. And another thing, too, is that there may be issues in terms of finding that physical strength, which is Mars, to do things associated with the outdoors, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say, for example, if Jupiter is in Leo, it could be setting up something outdoors for recreation or sports or entertainment, venues as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edward Learned saying, stay well.